Greetings shippers, it's Sasha here. We're gonna be following up on Kelly's top 10 weirdest Harley Quinn ships videos because, well, let me tell you, she's got ships for days. Also, just to let you know, I take issue with the phrase weirdest. For those who don't know, I run a channel dedicated to shipping and fandom called Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. So you know when people say things like, who can imagine wasting your time thinking about what these characters are doing? Well, I'm that person. I'm 100% that person. And if you are too, pop on over and visit me. I know not a lot of people are that person. Johnny's making fun of me downstairs, it's a thing. And now let's take a look at some more glorious Harley Quinn ships. Weird to some, but wonderful to others. Number 10. In the comments, you knew this power couple was missing. Pun 100% intended. It's Power Girl, Kara Zor-El or Karen Starr. She's Superman's cousin from an alternate universe. Basically, she's a multiverse Supergirl. First appearing in All-Star Comics number 58 in 1976, she has branched out to become a beloved character in her own right. So how did she find herself paired with Harley Quinn? Well, the two actually featured together in a team-up comic. This comic was called Harley Quinn and Power Girl. It was written by Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, published in 2016. This comic found itself in an awkward time between relaunches and a whole bunch of other stuff. This was a cute little adventure comic that set up a common dynamic in Harley's team-ups, namely straight man superhero type and Harley at her zaniest and anti-heroiest. The thing was, a lot of this came across as flirtatious, and Harley is already a part of a powerhouse juggernaut actual canonical femme-slash pairing between her and Poison Ivy. So shippers were already primed for another femme-slash pairing in a way not all fandoms are. It was all but a blip in terms of a comic moment, but it left the world with a ship. Number 9. DEADSHOT. Now this was a canonical pairing. Yes, you can ship a canon pairing. And this comes to us from early in the DC retcon / relaunch event, the aforementioned New 52. I didn't mention it before. The New 52 was attempting to do a lot of things, and one of them was creating a more realistic universe. However, this often didn't translate at all, or simply ended up boiling down to dark and gory, particularly in early New 52. This Harley Quinn could be brutal at times, and she was more unstable than ever. For years in comics, certain writers have been attempting to move Harley further and further away from the Joker. One way this is achieved is by giving her new love interests to prove that she is capable of being with other people. Over time, her having multiple love interests has become a character trait. Her relationship with DEADSHOT was dark. Harley was still very much getting over the Joker, if we can call it that. Few fans will forget when she took the Joker's face, from the era when the Joker cut off his own face, cause edgy, and put it over Floyd's face. So as you can imagine, this relationship, yeah, it didn't end well. She was a bit too much for DEADSHOT, and he is perpetually taking on missions trying to get himself killed. Still, the animated film Assault on Arkham and even the much maligned Suicide Squad provide a softer look at this couple that convinced some fans that maybe they could work. Number 8. The Riddler. Quiddler, as it is known in some circles, is a ship that is utterly perplexing to some. So let's go back in time to Gotham City Sirens, which ran from 2009 to 2011 and was part of the Batman Reborn relaunch, from when Bruce Wayne was dead, except not really. He got better. In this period of DC history, the Riddler for a period of time went straight and was running a private detective agency. It was short-lived, and he still dabbled in crime. But in this arc, he came into contact with Harley Quinn, and certain shippers liked their dynamics. Heck, some had enjoyed them since the animated series, where Harley made her debut. The appeal of keeping Harley and a villain couple, but with someone who would treat her better. It's also partially the color scheme. It's a cute look. Number 7. Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, from the DCAU time period, and also beyond. So Batgirl and Harley don't interact too much in the TAS itself, but they do a lot in the tie-in comics, and also in the short-lived but well-received Flash animated series entitled Gotham Girls, which consisted of 30 episodes produced between the years 2000 and 2002. The series surrounded, you guessed it, the popular Gotham Girls, both at odds with each other and teaming up, and had the official voice actors. The era of Flash animation was an interesting time. Harley and Barbara just have good banter, they're on the same wavelength when it comes to quips, and certain fans felt that they had a similar energy and enthusiasm for what they were doing, albeit on opposite sides of the law. The two continue to clash to this day, though there's a bit more of a gap between them since Rebirth. Rebirth Barbara is very different from her early days. Some love it, some hate it, some ship it. Number 6. The Scarecrow. Believe it or not, people have pondered for years if this one is actually canonical, but it also has a specific moment, which is fascinating, well to me at least. For this we have to go back to the Nolanverse, which was actually a shipping juggernaut, launching bat jokes into the mainstream shipping popularity. The Scarecrow was portrayed by Cillian Murphy in 2005's Batman Begins, and for many the casting was spot on. 2008's The Dark Knight cemented this universe as a hit, and also brought in an acclaimed version of the Joker. And where the Joker goes, people want Harley to follow. People began to speculate speculate what would a Harley in this universe be like. And soon they were graced with a new version of Harley to play with, that of the Batman Arkhamverse games. The first game, Batman Arkham Asylum, was released in 2009. Suddenly fans felt that these two versions of characters across universes had a chance, that Harley could indeed be a great henchwench to Jonathan Crane, and some liked the darkness of the idea or the imagery. It's a small dark pairing, but one that lives on and draws from many sources. Number 5. Harley Quinn and Loki. It's crossover time once more, and some people just love pairing fandom bicycles. A term I've covered on my channel. Basically it's similar to a little black dress. It goes with anything. Or anyone. These two are paired with pretty much anyone in their fandoms. It was almost inevitable that they would find their way together. For some, Harley is the chaotic presence in the DC universe, and Loki is the god of mischief, so some feel these two would have the best time together, and potentially be able to understand each other too. Come on, think about the adventures. Also, because of the film versions, there's lots of crossover AMVs or fan-made music videos, and they're glorious. This ship is burdened with glorious purpose. Number 4. Harley J. This one is dark, people. It's Harley Quinn and Jason Todd. Now let's put the age gap aside. Ages in comics are nebulous and shifting and really whatever the author wants them to be at that current moment in time. Also, Jason hooked up with Talia, or rather she hooked up with him shortly after he came back to life. It was a thing for 2 seconds. The idea here is these two bonding post-Joker. These take place usually in universes where people don't believe that Harley helped kill Jason. Some feel that the two would sympathize with each other, and both are pretty skilled and scary in their own right. Do they have the makings of a power couple? Could they heal each other? Or is this a ship doomed to go wrong? Number 3. Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. If you think that Harley made it out of Gotham City Sirens without being shipped with Selina, you have another thing coming. Not everyone is here for Harley Ivy. That relationship hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. It could also get dark. It's only in the modern era that has been toned down, and not always. Ivy is a misanthrope, never forget. Some feel Selina brings a maturity that Harley could use to the table, and also would still provide her with that villainous lifestyle she's come to enjoy. Catwoman skirts the law, and Harley, especially in the modern era, does so as well. Together they can kick the Joker and Batman to the curb, because we all know that people already pair those two together, and while canonically it's pretty clear that the Joker feels some kind of way about the Dark Knight. Number 2. Bucky Barnes. Welcome back to the realm of the fan vid. People get complex with this one. Like most crossovers, some level of AU or alternate universe is required to make the pairing work. And when you add the clips you have to play with into the mix, for some people it's a potent combination. People will weave intricate narratives of Harley knowing Bucky before, seeing him turn to the Winter Soldier, being drawn to the darkness as she is to the Joker's. Bucky feeling like this is the one side of the law he belongs on. If you're looking for a good example, the vid Closer by Barbara Gleek Potter is a great example. Yeah, to most people this is weird and you have to jump through hoops to get there, but for others, that's all part of the fun. Number 1. Booster Gold. This is a bit of a projection, but these two have all the makings of a ship laid out. Again, it doesn't always work out that way, but we'll see. Booster Gold has returned full force, and he's more important than ever since Heroes in Crisis, and he's come into significant contact with a once more slightly retconned Harley Quinn. Harley and Booster have met before, but not really in the proper canon. But their time together in Heroes in Crisis promises to be compelling. If Harley really wants a romance that would make people forget about her villainous origins, she needs a romance that matches the complexity of her relationship with the Joker, which many are quick to simply dismiss as abusive and romanticized. But actually there was a lot going on there, and it was afforded a great deal of nuance, which is part of its appeal. It's unique, and her and Booster could be too. It could build outside cliches and be something different. Two outsiders seeking answers being reshaped by the modern DC universe. It could be really interesting. But if it did happen, people would probably think it was a weird ship. Who knows, maybe I launched it for a few people. But probably not. So those were 10 more weird Harley Quinn ships. We covered a variety. Canon, crossover, rare, hypothetical, we've got it all. But if we do another one, it'll get really weird. Thanks so much for watching, and please check out some more lists on our channel. We've got plenty. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me if there are any other characters whose ships you're dying to know about, because, well, they've got lots. We'll see you all again soon here on Top 10 Nerd. Bye bye.